Manufacturing TSI, Threat/Stress/Support Index, Governance Risk. AI thinks. Governance decides. Assure proves. The videography of the NeuroGov Plus, Advanced AI, cockpit demonstrates how governed enterprise intelligence operates in real time through the IGA 2026 INFORM Govern Assure lifecycle. It showcases live KPI, TSI, OSI, RMSE, Analyzer 1.0 governance validation, policy-driven decision support, audit intelligence, and enterprise governance visualization across operational environments. NeuroGov Plus, Advanced AI, Governed Intelligence Architecture. Management should use the Manufacturing TSI Governance Risk Cockpit as a real-time governed decision support system to continuously monitor operational risk, production stability, policy compliance, sustainability exposure, audit readiness, and enterprise execution confidence. Based on KPI, TSI, OSI, RMSE, and Analyzer 1.0 governance verdicts, management should identify high-risk operational areas, strengthen process controls, optimize production workflows, reduce machine and supply chain instability, enforce governance policies, improve audit evidence quality, and initiate corrective actions before operational stress escalates into financial, compliance, quality, or sustainability failures. The objective is not only operational efficiency, but governed manufacturing execution where every critical decision is validated through the INFORM Govern Assure lifecycle under the IGA 2026 governance architecture. Risk-governed intelligence. Graph title, Manufacturing TSI Governance Risk. Category, Risk. KPI interpretation, indicates manufacturing operational performance stability, production continuity, machine reliability, and enterprise execution efficiency. TSI interpretation, elevated threat/stress/support index suggests operational governance pressure caused by production disruption, machine variance, process instability, delayed maintenance, sustainability deviations, or workflow stress. OSI interpretation, Outcome Success Index reflects the probability of stable manufacturing output under current governance conditions. Lower OSI values indicate reduced enterprise execution confidence. RMSE interpretation, RMSE measures predictive deviation between expected and actual operational performance. Higher RMSE indicates instability in forecast reliability and governance confidence. Analyzer 1.0 Governance Verdict. Allow rightward arrow stable operational governance. Condition rightward arrow controlled operational stress. Hold rightward arrow governance intervention required. Block rightward arrow critical operational governance risk. Governance guidance. Management should immediately investigate production variability, machine stability, workforce efficiency, inventory imbalance, and sustainability exposure before operational escalation impacts enterprise continuity. IGA 2026 Mapping. Inform rightward arrow AI-generated operational intelligence. Govern rightward arrow Analyzer 1.0 validates governance risk. Assure rightward arrow audit evidence preserved for governance review. Control governed intelligence. Graph title, Manufacturing Governance Control Intelligence. Category, Control. KPI interpretation, represents operational governance effectiveness, production balancing capability, workflow discipline, and enterprise process control maturity. TSI interpretation, measures the degree of governance stabilization achieved through operational controls, policy enforcement, and risk mitigation activities. OSI interpretation, indicates how effectively governance controls improve manufacturing outcome success probability and operational trust. RMSE interpretation, lower RMSE reflects stronger control consistency and improved governance reliability across manufacturing operations. Analyzer 1.0 Governance Verdict. Allow rightward arrow controls operating effectively. Condition rightward arrow monitoring required. Hold rightward arrow governance adjustment needed. Block rightward arrow control failure risk detected. Governance guidance. Operational leadership should strengthen process monitoring, threshold balancing, maintenance governance, inventory synchronization, and workflow validation to maintain enterprise manufacturing trust. IGA 2026 mapping. Inform rightward arrow operational intelligence generation. Govern rightward arrow governance control validation. Assure rightward arrow control evidence retained for auditability. Policy governed intelligence. Graph title, Manufacturing Policy Governance Intelligence. Category, Policy. KPI interpretation, measures manufacturing alignment with enterprise governance policies, compliance thresholds, ESG mandates, operational procedures, and quality governance standards. TSI interpretation, high TSI values indicate elevated policy sensitivity, compliance stress, sustainability risk, or governance threshold violations. OSI interpretation, represents the probability of successful enterprise operations under active policy governance conditions. RMSE interpretation, higher RMSE may indicate policy drift, inconsistent governance interpretation, or unstable operational compliance patterns. Analyzer 1.0 Governance Verdict. Allow rightward arrow policy compliance maintained. Condition rightward arrow minor governance deviations detected. Hold rightward arrow policy intervention required. Block rightward arrow critical governance violation risk. Governance guidance. Management should review sustainability governance, production compliance, safety regulations, audit policies, operational thresholds, and enterprise quality controls before approving execution decisions. IGA 2026 mapping. Inform rightward arrow policy intelligence generated from enterprise data. Govern rightward arrow policy validation through Analyzer 1.0. Assure rightward arrow compliance evidence and audit trace preserved. Audit governed intelligence. Graph title, Manufacturing Audit Governance Intelligence. Category, Audit. KPI interpretation, represents enterprise audit readiness, operational transparency, governance traceability, and institutional accountability maturity. TSI interpretation, measures governance stress related to audit exposure, compliance gaps, documentation inconsistency, or operational evidence risk. OSI interpretation, indicates enterprise confidence in audit success, governance trust, and accountability assurance capability. RMSE interpretation, RMSE validates consistency between operational governance decisions and recorded enterprise evidence. Lower RMSE strengthens audit trust. Analyzer 1.0 Governance Verdict. Allow rightward arrow audit governance stable. Condition rightward arrow audit monitoring required. Hold rightward arrow governance evidence incomplete. Block rightward arrow critical audit/compliance exposure detected. Governance guidance. Audit and governance teams should validate evidence integrity, operational traceability, policy compliance logs, analyzer verdict history, and enterprise governance accountability records. IGA 2026 mapping. Inform rightward arrow audit intelligence collection. Govern rightward arrow governance verification and compliance validation. Assure rightward arrow long-term institutional audit preservation and accountability proof. Power governance statement. These tooltip descriptions transform every manufacturing bar chart into a governed enterprise intelligence object inside NeuroGov Plus, Advanced AI. Each tooltip now becomes an operational governance explanation, a policy interpretation engine, a DSS guidance mechanism, an Analyzer 1.0 governance checkpoint, and an Assure-ready audit evidence layer. This converts ordinary chart visualization into governed, explainable, auditable enterprise intelligence. Dr. Pradeep K. Suri, inventor and architect, NeuroGov Plus, Advanced AI, Analyzer 1.0, IGA 2026, and the 3D, 10D AI DNN engine, Cognitive Cube.